Welcome, everybody. I'm glad you're here. So we're going to talk about computational thinking. If you haven't thought about computational thinking before, that's all right. We do it like every single day in our lives, which I think is awesome. So the ISTE standard for the students is 1.5, and it's students develop and employ strategies for understanding and solving problems in ways that leverage the power of technological methods to develop and test solutions. So when I'm reading this, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so much, right? But really, it's not. It kind of sounds like we're just going to use computers for computational thinking, but it's way more than just computers, which I think is awesome. So really, computational thinking is like problem solving. It's a problem solving method that's going to break down complex problems into manageable parts, identifying trends and patterns, simplifying details down to essential ones, and creating a step-by-step algorithm to a solution. Like, I think this sounds more like sequencing than anything. I don't know, do you think that sounds like that, Melanie? Kind of sequency?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's broken down into 4 parts. It's decomposition, pattern recognition, abstraction, and algorithmic design. So we're going to plan a trip with computational thinking. So Disneyland is like a trip that my whole family is always all about. So when you're starting to plan your Disneyland trip or whatever trip you're getting ready to go on, you start really computational thinking. So you're going to decompose it. You're going to start thinking like, okay, I need to book tickets. You're going to break it down into those parts. I need to like choose my destination. I need to pack, blah, blah, blah. Then the next thing, you're going to look for patterns, and especially Disneyland, I try and look for like the least busy time. I've never chosen it and I'm always bummed out. So like identify best times to travel based on past trips and trends. So I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, November, like Thanksgiving, is not the time to go. We went on Thanksgiving one year. I've never touched so many people in my life. It was just like wall to wall people. I would not go again at that time. So like, I know based on my trip, no, but then I really do look at like the Disney calendars and stuff. Like, I'm not crazy about Disney, but I do want to go at a good time. The next part is when you're starting to do that abstraction. So you're really focusing on those minute details, like, okay, here's like a good time to travel. Here's the travel actual dates. Here's our budget. Here's our essential items to pack. Maybe we start like booking stuff out or like looking at different airlines and things. And then last, you're going to build an algorithm, like a step-by-step plan to accomplish each task. I'll be like, okay, Monday, I need to, do my airline tickets. And then Wednesday before the trip, we have to start packing and doing laundry and cleaning the house and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like we use computational thinking all the time. We just don't really break it down into these steps. All right. So we're going to look at this sandwich with computational thinking. So if I'm going to decompose this sandwich, I'm just going to break it into the individual parts. I don't want to like, Melanie, do you want to talk about this sandwich with me?
Sure.
You look at the sandwich, like what parts do you see?
So I see bread and meat and lettuce and cheese.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're just breaking it down into those very like different parts.
Oh yeah, there's tomatoes too.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
I would not eat the sandwich, but I'm sure it looks delicious. So pattern recognition, I'm looking for like patterns or things I see happening in the sandwich. Do you see any like patterns going on?
Yeah, there's like layers in it. So
Yeah,
like
I
a
totally
bread
agree.
and then some meat and then a bread and then some other stuff. And then, yeah.
Yeah. And I always think of like when I'm thinking about trends, like, I don't know if there's any sandwich trends, but like, remember when Quiznos was like really cool, like in the mid 2000s, and people were like dying to get Quiznos, or like cronuts are great. So I think about that. This is like a club sandwich, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're just like run of the mill sandwich. Okay, abstraction. I'm going to focus on the details. So if I was looking at this, I'd be like, oh, the bread is toasted. Can you see any other minute detail that you're like, oh, I can really see?
Oh, it has a toothpick through it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what else do I see? I don't know. I don't see a lot of other minute details. Like I guess the veggies are fresh.
Mhm. I think I'm going to say that's one of the layers is chicken. I'm not sure. It
Yeah, I
looks like
think it
grilled
is.
chicken on this top layer.
Yeah.
And I don't think those are Kraft singles. Like, I
No,
think
those look like
real cheese.
real cheese.
Yeah. So we've like focused in on the details. So I think we could start building the sandwich.
By a triangle.
Oh, it's a triangle, Ross?
Yeah.
Look
It's
at
not
you. You're right.
Well, it
right.
was a square.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, look at that.
It's cut in half.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's cut in half.
Diagonally instead of perpendicular.
Oh, Ross, that's
Yes.
really good
My
math.
kids always liked their sandwiches in triangles, not in rectangles.
They
Just
taste
'cause
better.
it's
It's
different.
scientific.
It's different.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, last one. So the algorithmic design. So now that we've like broken it down, we can build it back up step by step. So like my first step to build this sandwich, and you guys can tell me what your first step would be they would need to get bread out of the bag, put some butter on it and toast it. I would oven toast mine, but maybe put it in the toaster and then butter it. Does anybody have a different way they'd start the sandwich?
Well, I wouldn't use butter. I'd probably use mayo or mustard or something like that.
Yeah. So that's way different. Like I would never. Mayo was not my favorite. So no, that's a way good variation in our algorithmic designs for sure. Um, then like the layering, like
Mhm.
I would probably lay my stuff out side by side and then just start layering. And I would have to buy those fancy toothpicks at the store to make it look really good.
Well, I think it would fall apart if you didn't.
Oh, yeah, because it's kind of a big sandwich.
Kind of big.
Right? Okay, so some cool ways to get some algorithmic design into your lives is the STEM lending library. And I'm just going to show you right here. So we have tons of things that could be like computer science and STEM related inside of here. Can you guys still see my screen?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. So you can come here to digitallearning.jordandistrict.org/computer science STEM learning lab, or you'll just go to the DTL website and you'll come right down here, which will probably be easier. And so there's tons of things to check out. Checkout's open to any teacher in the district. All of your tools will come to you via district mail. So you'll just check for them in your front office and then you'll return them the same way. You'll get some stickers before it's time to return them and you'll slap the sticker on top of the sticker that came to you and then you'll ship it to wherever via district mail. And all the directions are right here. If you have any questions, you can absolutely contact me and I would love to help you out. There's some STEM February ideas right here if you're really interested in them. But let's say you're trying to get some computational design in, you can come and check out BBots. So you'll click one of these links and it will take you to a Sign Up Genius. You just have to make a Sign Up Genius account, which takes like no time at all. And then you'll come down and you could sign up for these either slot, which would be so fun, especially at the end of the year. It'd be so fun to get some computational thinking in there. All right. And if you have questions about any of the items, I would love to answer them. So right here, BBots are one of my favorites for littles. They're screen free and they're super intuitive and it's like input in, output. So input, output, like you can see it immediately. So while some kids are playing on their BBots, like their physical BBots, other kids could really be working on virtual BBots. So you can see my little BBot right here. And this is exactly the same on the left-hand side right here. These are the same controls the BBot has on it. And it kind of helps sometimes for when they're like doing that sequencing, building their algorithm to kind of see how it works on this mat. You can also change these mats. There's a ton of different mats. So we'll be in the Old West, which is great. So if I was like, I need to get to the jail because I need to get someone out of jail, I would look at this and you can go by the square. So I'll be like, 1, I need to go 2 squares up. And then I need to go over this way. So I'm going to turn and then hopefully I'm at the jail. I'm going to press go. And I can see I didn't get to the jail, which is a bummer. I needed to go 1 more over. So it's back to that abstraction of like looking at those minute details. I'm going to send that guy home. So I'm going to go up, up. Ooh, get out of here. X that out. Up, up, turn, and then straight again. Let's see if I get there. Go. And there I am, getting ready to help someone out of the jail. So BBots are awesome. I really enjoy them. And there's tons of other things you can do. You can even make your own mats. There's like 1,000 things you could do with BBots. Microbits are also one of my favorite features. They're a teeny tiny computer. And same, it's like input, output, immediate. The kids can see if they're doing it right. You can check these out from the STEM Lending Library. You can also just come to makecode.microbit.org and they can use a virtual one. So we're just going to do a fake one right here. And if you want to come here and do it with me, absolutely. So we're just going to use our virtual microbit right here on the left-hand side of the screen. And I have an on, start, and forever, and that's really it. Do you want it to happen when it just starts, or do you want it to happen forever? I want it to happen forever, forever and ever. So on the front of our microbit, there's 25 red LEDs. They're only red, which is a bummer, but that's all right. So here's 25 LEDs right here. And I'm going to write my initials right here. And then as soon as I stop doing this, it's going to show up right here on my left-hand side. So I can see that's going great.
That's cool.
And it's going a little too fast for me and I want to slow that down. So I'm going to go grab this pause. I'm going to put a pause in there. Now let's see how that's going to go. It's probably going to go a little bit slower. And then these are milliseconds. So 1,000 milliseconds is a second. So I'm going to go 500. So it's like a half a second. Let's see what happens now. So I'd go through these things with the kids. And if we had a real one, we'd download it and then we could see it on the physical one. So I make them do everything the hard way because then when we do it the easy way, it's pretty easy. So I only had them write their first name or first initial, last initial, because I accidentally had kids. I was like, write your whole name. And someone's name's Ava and someone's name's DeMarcus. He's taken a long time, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm like, let's go grab this string and change it out right there. And I can write my entire name in there. And it's going to scroll across. Because imagine just writing your name in those LEDs. Like I would have given up already. That's a long time. So there's tons of cool stuff you can do. I'm going to show you one more thing inside of here. There's these great input buttons. So right here, you can see it says, I was pointing to my computer because everyone can see me point. Right here, it says A, and this one says B.
Mhm.
So I'm going to grab this input, and I'm just going to grab this icon. And then I'm going to choose an icon that I think is so great. I really want to think this is a llama. In my heart, it is. So when I go and press button A llama appears. So I'm going to go grab another input button. And I can't use A again, and that's why it's grayed out right now. So I'm going to go do B because I can use B. And I only let, and this is like a very personal choice, everybody. I only let the kids use the music on button presses because I don't want to hear music forever. So however you want to do it. So I'm going to come into music. I'm going to grab this one. They can write their own melodies. Then I'm going to choose a melody that really, floats my boat. So this one. And so you can choose a couple different ones. Play it until it's done, loop it in the background. I just wanted to play it till it's done. So now let's go see. If I press A, there's my llama. There's my melody. And then one more time with this button, we can do A plus B. And really in real life, you would go hit A plus B, but we can't do that at the same time. So there's an A plus B button here. So I might have them write their name. This would be like a little get to know you activity. So write my name. So then here's my favorite animal. It's a llama. Here's my theme song. It's that. Then here's my name. Really fun get to know you activity, but it's also getting that computational thinking. And if I wanted the students to write an algorithm, I'd be like, what did you do first? What did you do second? Write it out for me. When I was doing first grade and fourth grade, we did informational writing. So it would just be like, first, I grabbed a button out of the input and all those other things. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. All right, here we go, back here. Okay, so another great way to get computational thinking in is SkillStruck, and most schools, I know your school has this, Melanie, have SkillStruck, and it's such a cool program. I'm going to go there right now. So inside of SkillStruck, you have to be logged in, number one. We're going to log in there, and it is single sign-on, which is so great because kids don't have to mess with like anything. You just have to get them in there. And if you need help getting your students in SkillStruck, I'm your gal. They'll be in Launchpad. And this is one of my favorite things. So we're just going to go, we'll be in third grade. So right here, you can see it's going to go through all this stuff, sequencing and then algorithms. And I'm just going to click into algorithms. And it takes them through. I usually do this whole group because I like to ask them questions. There's a whole like textbook of things. There's some videos to play, practice building algorithms. It talks about what you're going to do. And then it has you, the kids don't have to take the quizzes, do puzzles that go with it, which are my favorite. So here's the first one. And it says, I'm going to go grab these instructions right here. And you can even play the instructions. They're kind of robot-y, but it's still great. So we want to choose the command options to direct our character to stand in front of the door. So here's our person. Here's the door. Now, if you're thinking about this sprite, this is the one thing, like here's my right hand, but if I go to his right hand, it's like going to be backwards. So when we're turning right or left, they have to think the opposite way. So here's my start right here. And if I say move forward, it's going to be an automatic fail on my part. So I'm going to say he needs to turn left. Let's see if this works. Yes, great. It's like your algorithm isn't done. No, I know. Okay. Then we're going to walk forward. 1, 2, forward, forward. Then we have to turn right. I'm glad everybody can watch me think about mine. Then we're going to go forward, forward. And this is all like they're having to look minute details. They're having to see if there were patterns. If I was really using like a whole bunch of forwards, I might throw in a loop so that I could do that in a pattern, like loop, loop, loop. Forward, forward, turn. Let's see what let's run this really quick and see what's happening. Okay. Oh, one more forward. One more forward, and then he needs to turn. I'm missing. Do you guys think left? Let's try left.
Right.
Oh, right. Good.
It's right.
I knew I was going to be wrong.
Do you
So
see me
turn
moving my
right.
chair?
I was like trying to think. It's been a lot of forward.
And I could be totally wrong. So
oh no, listen, we can always go back and fix it, which is my favorite. Okay, here we go, fella. Okay, it's looking good. Oh, you were right. Oh, we've done it. So thanks for helping, by the way. Because at the end, I'm all, I don't know. The kids earn points from this and they have little skill emojis they can go and change, which they're pretty stoked about. I do love that one. And it really is, it like hits all those computational thinkings, patterns, building that algorithm, sequence. Oh my gosh. Now I can't remember all of them. Abstraction and the other one. Oh no, we're out of there. Oh, okay, here we go. Down here. All right. The other thing we have are these JSD computer science lesson plans. If your school doesn't have Skillstruck, you can click in here. It's an open course, so you can just go on in there and you can grab these, and they're based around the code.org. They're just put into some lovely Canva presentations, and it's made so you don't have to go through code.org because their lesson plans are, while they're wonderful, are pretty long. If this one ever loads, that would be great. Their lesson plans are really long. I'll just show you right here. And it's broken it down to like, hey, here's time to do some keyboarding. And that's just choose whatever platform you want. And then it's talking about being a super digital citizen. And it just kind of goes through it instead of you having to go through and prep everything. It's already prepped it for you, which I did a lot of the time. Code.org is also a great resource. You can go there, have your kids go there. Wonderful. Any questions?
I don't think so.
Thank you for participating so much, you guys. I totally appreciate it. Well, if there are no questions, here's my robot waving goodbye. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Tracy.
Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Okay, bye-bye.